Hi, everybody. The Right Spotters, we are back again. I got Chris and Shane here again. Today, we wanted to talk a little more practical, hands-on, a little more direct about what the Right Spotters actually are, and
Yeah.
and what we can do for you. We're going to talk a little bit more about like the reason we got together, the reason we started this situation, and the services that we can provide for trainers and coaches that want to become better writers, or don't even know they want to become better writers. So Shane, what was the thinking behind the Right Spotters? What spurred you? What's the reason? What and why?
Well, I first thought, I started up this little Facebook thing called Fitness Flow Riding Services, where I thought it was, and I ran it by a few guys, and I thought it was a good idea that I was in a position um, to help other riders and offer opinions and stuff like that. Um, and then this came up, and I thought, well, I was doing it by myself, but I thought in this kind of situation that collaboration would work best. Now it's just by circumstances and good faith that me and you got together because we did a little bit of work on breaking muscle. My thought behind it was that because when I started writing and I learned the hard way, right? I wouldn't I was going it alone, pretty much going it alone. Let's just say I was going it alone, the lone wolf, and I mean, not that I was looking for help, but I needed help. Now, what we do is very specific, so we only like attract a certain type of trainer who wants to get better at writing and also use it as a second source of income. Um, I thought when I started writing that it would help me get more clients, and it kind of did, and it didn't. But we're looking at really helping people dial in their voice, their message, because because we've been in the industry for a while and we've seen the other side. We've seen what it takes to produce good, consistent content, and it's not all about being a good writer these days. It's also about SEO, readability, formatting, and all that kind of stuff. And we've seen that side of it, right? Because we've been exposed to it. Writers who are looking to get published in magazines to get more clients, we can help them do that because we've seen the other side of it. So that's kind of thinking behind the Right Spotters.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it really is sort of like a two great tastes that taste great together thing. Not talking about me and you, even though that applies. It's that you and I both uh, were trainers. We were personal trainers. We work with clients. You still are actively, uh, not so much. So we know what it takes to be a trainer and the responsibilities and the just you know what it takes to get your message out there and to have the hands on. And we're also experienced, like you said, with the editorial side as writers and editors for a bunch of different sites that we've worked on. So by blending the two perspectives, like you said, we have a different outlook on what we can offer. Like I've seen a lot of trainers who can't write well but try, and it's almost like they're hamstringing themselves. No pun intended. Uh, like if you're a very knowledgeable trainer, but your writing doesn't convey your skill set, your skill level, it's not really going to benefit you professionally. General editorial services like reviewing rough drafts, things like that. Like if you want to put out written content, send it our way. We can take a look at it. We can say, this could use some tweaks. This isn't really going to fly. And we can just help.
Like having a second pair of eyes on your work. I mean, having a second pair of eyes. I mean, anybody can read. Like you could write something and give it to a friend, and they could offer your opinion. But with us, it'll be an expert opinion.
Exactly. Expert opinion from both sides of the fence. Like we know from an editing field, if you submit this, it's going to either get turned back away or get rejected, or it's going to need so much work that you're not going to be published again. So sending in a good first draft, I think I've said before, if you send in a good first draft and want to be published, you can become your editor's favorite writer. And that just leads to more writing opportunities, either in the same magazine, same outlet, or across the web. It's writing for trainers. It's really just a business skill. It's part of a business development, like social media is. Not all trainers are on social media, but a lot of trainers have adopted social media because it's an effective way. It's an effective tool for their business. Like personal training is a business, bottom line, we help people and things like that. But it's your career. And to develop your career, you need certain skills. And writing is a skill you can add to your professional toolbox that, will benefit your business. It's good if you it. Thank you. Like, it's one thing if you publish a good article and your training information gets out and more people can read it. You're helping more people. That's a good thing, undeniably, good thing. But it will also help your business, which is also a good thing, and that there's nothing wrong with that.
And I've given advice to a few people who have been getting into writing, particularly other coaches. And what I find is they feel like they have to write something completely new to get noticed. And I always say to them, you've got to write what you know about. You got to stick with because when you're writing something whiz bang and you want to get published, you think you have to write about something exciting, something unique, right? That nobody else has ever written about. And you kind of get out of your lane a little bit. Maybe it's like attempting like a 1-rep deadlift when you're not ready, right? And I find some of the writers I've talked to are a little bit like that. They think they have to do something whiz bang, something brand new. And I just say, well, no, you got to really write what you know about. And I like to use the analogy that being a better writer has made me a better trainer, and being a better trainer has made me a better writer, because what they do is they both really feed into each other, right? And so I think what we can do for people who are looking to get published is basically like we coach them up like we coach a deadlift. They already have the knowledge. The people who are watching this already have the knowledge. You already know what you're talking about, right? We can just help you express it better.
That's a great point. Great analogy. And I do think that's a trap that a lot of coaches fall into. It's especially online, especially in the social media age currently, it's an attention economy. So you think you need to do something wild. You think you need to do something, that's never been done before to get attention. And there are trainers out there, cashing in on attention. There are plenty of memes about it, about people that just, go way overboard, and it backfires because there is such a thing nowadays as bad publicity. Like it used to be, there's no such thing as bad press. But online, there's absolutely such thing as bad press. So you want to avoid that. So you don't want to get crazy for the sake of being crazy. You and your knowledge base, if you present it just clearly, should be enough. Maybe that's rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
But your unique perspective, every coach has their own unique perspective. Every coach is individual. And there's something about them that can stand out without putting on the crazy seasoning on top. So if you just polish up your information and present it clearly so it's easily understood, you'll rise to the top. Like you said, there is nothing new to write about. Like there is nothing new to write about. Like fitness magazines have been around since the 1930s, and there's been arm training workouts and squat workouts almost going on 100 years. There's nothing new to write about. So, but your training methods and your experiences are unique to my training knowledge and experiences. The way we express ourselves is different from each other. So you stand out that way. And what we do with the Right Spotters is we can help figure out why you as an individual stand out. And we can kind of polish that up a little bit and put that front and center without having to do all the bells and whistles that are just attention grabbing for the sake of grabbing attention. Because that's when it backfires. That's not serving your real purpose.
What you're saying feeds into like finding your voice as well a little bit, and that's something. I mean, when you first start writing, that everybody struggles is how do you want to sound like, and I think what you just mentioned, because we've found ours, that we can help find yours, right? Like I said before, the people who we work with, they have the knowledge. They passed English at high school, right? Probably wrote college papers. So it's not like they don't know how to write, right? We just need to basically refine what we know. Like a coach picks up a few technique flaws in a squat, say, hey, do this, this, and this. And then they get under the bar and they follow your advice. And then that squat, they lift for a PR. That's the kind of thing that we can do for riders.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah. It is. It's everybody has that knowledge base. Everybody can write fundamentally, but like I said, if you're presenting your information with clumsy writing or that's riddled with like grammatical errors, it reflects on you. Like you wouldn't go to a restaurant that if you sat down in a restaurant and the menu was filled with typos, you're going to be like, this is, I don't care how good the food is. This is not a good first impression. It could be an amazing restaurant, but first impressions count. It's huge. It's like if you're walking the gym floor and if you're the trainer who wears the string tank top while you're training clients, that's not really the best first impression. It's not really a professional look. If you're disheveled looking, if you're, how you present yourself and your information just matters. Again, it comes back to it's a business decision. It's professionalism.
Yeah. And I was going to say, much like personal trainers coach up clients to say, hey, you can go out on your own and you're good to go. That's what the ultimate thing for a personal trainer is, the clients to go do it by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's probably going to be the goal with the Right Spotters. It's like, we'll come in, we'll coach you up, and then you're good to go. You don't need us anymore. That's the goal with the Right Spotters. We don't need to hold your hand. We're just going to be like a guide by the side. And when you feel confident and you're good to go, you can just check in occasionally.
Right. Well, that's
much like you check in with the coach.
Yeah. The Right Spotters isn't just a clever name. Like, you don't use a spotter on every lift. You use a spotter for the lifts that count. Yeah. So it made sense. There was some thinking behind the brand name.
I've got to. You want me to just veer off target a little bit? Because I've got just this funny story in my head. So when I wrote for Barband, and I had an editor, and he wrote this email to me in all caps. Everything was in all caps. and he said, "You are a professional writer. These grammatical errors are," and there a few choice words like that, and that really kind of just ran that home to me because I never made those mistakes again,
Mhm.
right? Because I think when it comes to what we do in the Right Spotters, particularly with writing, and we've talked about how they've got the knowledge, they know how to write, and they just need to find their voice and clarify little things. The thing is, particularly like with good writing, the little things matter, right? Putting the headline in, like using an attention-grabbing headline, grammatical errors, the use of a semicolon, commas, full stop. If I didn't put a full stop in some of my articles, I get a new asshole ripped.
Mhm.
That's the thing we can teach you is that the little things matter, right? And those little things all add up to you being just a little bit more professional. And I learned that the hard way. Trust me.
No,
And I'm
100%.
still learning.
We're all still learning. That's the point.
Yeah.
No, 100%. That's, the little things definitely do matter. And we're talking a lot about writing for publications and websites and getting paid to write.
And even with your blog, I mean, still
Yeah,
when you're putting something out there, right?
absolutely. Yes, it's any written content. Like a lot of coaches still have blogs. Not all coaches. Maybe I think 15, 20 years ago, a lot more coaches have written blogs, but whatever. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah,
But
it
your
is, right.
own published content, your social media posts, you're still writing captions. You don't want issues in those captions because again, it'll reflect on you. But I think our focus, not really focus, but our key reference point is publications, because as a writer, getting paid to write articles is another business venture. It's another way. It's another income source. So by not having the skill of writing, you're cutting yourself off financially, which
True.
which not many people want to do. Like, you have the knowledge. If you can spend an hour or 3 or whatever it takes to write out an article and get paid for it, why would you not?
That's true.
But
I want to add a caveat to that. You have to be serious about it.
absolutely,
You can't be half-hearted about it. So when you hire people like me and Chris, you have to have some skin in the game. You want to have to get better, or else we can't help.
definitely. And again, it's because you're making a professional business decision. It's to invest in your business development. It's not that different from taking a certification to get better at kettlebell training or to get better at mobility training. Like, it's a skill, it's a tool in your professional arsenal. Writing obviously isn't as much hands-on carryover with a client, but it will carry over to developing your business, to growing your training business.
It gives you credibility too.
Absolutely.
I've got just writing for Muscle and Fitness. I just get so many PR pictures. You got no idea. It's absolutely inundated. It's just like, I'm just a freelance writer, dude.
Right.
So I think, like, I want to bring up is, yes, credibility is huge, right? Credibility, reputation. Your writing can lend to that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It has for me.
It is, because you see those bylines on a lot of coaches' sites. You see as featured in, and it's a bunch of magazine names you recognize: Muscle and Fitness, Barbend, Garage Gym Reviews. It's all names that people recognize, and that also ties into the behind the scenes side. The more widespread your name is on the internet through various articles and various publications, the higher your information will rank overall. So that's why it's kind of a self-perpetuating cycle. Like, if you're a widespread writer, you get more notoriety. And the more you write, the more attention you get. The more attention you get, the more opportunities you have to write. So again, it's growing your business awareness, growing awareness of your business.
Sure.
That's it. That's it. It's a
yeah,
business.
no,
That's all. That's
yeah.
all it comes back to. I keep saying it, but that's what it comes back to. And it gets overlooked a lot. Like a lot of trainers don't want to invest in their business. They'd rather learn new training techniques or more nutrition techniques, like more hands-on stuff to deal with the clients. But your writing will open up opportunities to potentially work with more clients. So,
And
so that's it.
add to your credibility and your reputation.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Because there are so many trainers out there. There's so many personal trainers. It's flooded field. So if somebody is looking for a trainer, and trainer A is Joe Smith, and trainer B is Joe Smith, Jack Smith, featured in Muscle and Fitness magazine, and Testosterone Nation magazine, and Flex magazine when it was a thing. That alone, it's a credibility thing. It's this guy's been around a little more. This guy probably knows a little bit more. This guy seems a little bit more professional, more well established. So we're going to go with this trainer.
Yeah. Good point, Chris. Good point.
Thank you, sir.
Do
Anything
you
else?
think we have anything more to add? Do you think we covered it?
I think we covered. I think we sold ourselves well. Like I said, it's just what we want to do is help trainers write better, and by writing better, you will build your business. But invest in yourself, invest in your professional business, and develop the skill, because it's another tool you can use.
True. And it shortens the learning curve. That's what coaches do, right?
Exactly. That's what you got
You
two
hire us,
guys here.
you
Plenty
hire
of
us to
knowledge.
shorten the learning curve.
Yes, you can.
Get to where you want to go fast.
That's the whole idea. Just use our knowledge, use our experience, and let us help you, please. Cool. Any questions? Send them in to thewritespotters@gmail.com. It's right with a W, because again, we're writing. Find us on socials @thewritespotters, and we will catch you guys next time.